Hey friends, welcome back. We are going shopping today. I'm at one of my favorite nurseries in Seattle. This is Swanson's. They are in kind of like northwest Seattle. They're one of my favorites. I've been coming here for years. And I do mean years. They are incredible. I've come here with my mom way back in the day. And what I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to spend these little cuties. These are my swan dollars. And so when you shop here in like the late spring, they give these to you with your purchase. And then what you get to do is you get to come back in July and spend them. And what you can, I have 39 swan dollars. And so that means I can spend, gosh, how does the math work out? Basically, these are used for half off your purchase. So essentially, I can buy like $80 worth of plants for 40 bucks. It's amazing. So we're going to go in. I'm going to kind of show you what I'm gravitating towards during July because you're not shopping for everything in July. There are certain things that this is the time to get them. So I'm going to take you in. I'm going to cruise around. I'm going to show you what I'm looking for and things that you should definitely pop on if you want to get out to your garden center and shop in July. So I've just come in and we're going to cruise around, but I want to show you a couple things that I look for. First and foremost, I'm looking for like unusual things that I can't frequently get at my nurseries because I can buy a lot of plants through my wholesaler that you see actually here because they grow for Swansons. However, I'm always on the hunt for specialty things that they're bringing in. So I'm looking for things I can't get my hands on. And then sometimes when I have my swan dollars, I will actually shop for plant supports. So I've bought like gorgeous Corten like sculptures, all that kind of stuff. You know, the things that I can't necessarily get at a discount being someone who works in the trade. So literally here I am. I'm in the shade house right now. And you are never going to believe what I found. This is literally the first thing that is going in my cart. And here's the deal. I already have one. But you know, I'm not going to plant one. I'm going to plant more. Okay, so I'm walking into the shade area and I saw this and I was like, okay, is this lilac squirrel? It's not. It is a sanguisorba, but it is called pink brushes, I believe. Let's see here. Oh yeah, there we are. Pink brushes. And I was like, oh, dang. Really wanted lilac squirrel because you know, I already have one. And then look what I see right here. This is the one that I found at Wells Medina, and here it is here. So this is great. Center part shade, moist, well-draining soil, lilac pink flowers to 3 feet high, July through September. Okay, and of course, there's only one, but she's coming with me. The next thing I am on the hunt for is this time of year, you really want to be shopping for your grasses, your echinacea, your rudbeckia. Those are all really great things to shop for. Oh, your sedums, because this time of year, they are looking peak perfection and they're bringing them in fresh and they are anxious to get them right out the door. So let's kind of peruse through some of those selections. And I want to show you what I look for when I shop for those items. Oh, and asters. This is a great time to get asters because they're primed and ready to put on a show. You guys, this is also my favorite thing to see when I'm at a nursery. Look what they have. Gorgeous penstemons, yarrows. Those would also be really good because they're so hardy. Okay, gorgeous echinaceas back there, of course. Let's come over here. Oh my gosh, they have so much good stuff right now. Look at all of this. And lots of agastache. Oh, look at this. What the heck is that thing? Okay, Winifred Gilman Salvia. That is wild. Okay, this thing is gorgeous. Really thick stemmed. Okay, that is catching my eye too. Okay, let's get back to work because I want to show you the echinaceas over here. When I shop for an echinacea, a couple of things. First and foremost, I love an echinacea that has a dark stem. I feel like that is really, really good. Next, I love classic. So I love a white swan. I love Magnus. I love the traditional purpurea. But more than anything, you really want to get these and get them immediately in the ground. And what you're looking for is, do you see how big and robust that base is right there? That's what you're looking for. You want something that is ready to throw down an awesome root system because you want this well established before winter. I want to throw down one final note on some of these more ruffled, kind of double, if you will, echinaceas. These ones, you really want to buy them on the earlier side. They do need a bit more, I feel like they need a bit more time to establish themselves as a perennial in your garden. These will not come back nearly as robust as some of the traditional ones. So like I said, white swan, Magnus, purpurea, those are like my heavy, heavy hitters. These ones will come back, but just are a little bit more tender. Of course, the double scoop series, a very reliable bloomer. This is one I lean into quite a bit. And then there's some shorter series, but echinaceas right now, they are at peak and there's literally a little something for everybody. Grasses are another really good one to buy this time of year, especially because a lot of them will be showing off a plume, and that's kind of fun. A lot of people don't think about the plume of a grass, but that is incredible foliage, and really that is like one of the peak reasons that you choose a grass. So I want to show you some of my favorites, some of the ones I'm really excited about. Also, the other thing about grasses, I find they're super drought tolerant once established. And so it's almost like I have a better shot of establishing them in the heat. You just soak them, let them do their thing. And they don't really need just like a ton of nutrients. They're super, super hardy. I want to show you some ones that are on my radar and something that I'll probably be actually adding to that back garden border. So two things. First and foremost, little red fox. I love this grass. Let me bring this down here. It's a blue stem. It is adorable and zones 4 to 10, reaches about 2.5 feet tall. Really, really great plant. What I love about it is the green is much more soft, and then you get this little bit of red that goes through it. Really lovely selection. Of course, I am majorly into the big kahuna grasses. One of those I might consider is actually Carl Forrester. This is a classic. It's a staple. I use it all the time. It is just hardy as it comes. And this is what you choose if you need like a really vertical columnar moment. This one is awesome. But this next one I'm going to show you is my candidate for the back border. This is one of my favorite grasses of all time. This is one called Blonde Ambition. I'll show you the tag. Think like 2.5, sometimes 3 feet tall. It is really hardy, full sun, average to kind of like dryish soil conditions. But the reason I love it so much, and I've loved it for years and years and years, is the little plume. This is sometimes called eyelash grass, and it's because of these gorgeous little eyelashes that hang off of the tops. This is so beautiful. I secretly love this. I will probably buy this from my wholesaler because I can get a really good deal on it. And I think I'm going to plant a trio of these underneath my Corten bird bath. I love it. This is a good one. This is a very good one. I actually love how this looks with roses too. I don't know why. It like ticks a lot of boxes for me. Next on my list, if you guys are shopping for grasses, northern sea oats. My goodness. Okay, average soil, check. Dry soil, check. A little bit moist of a soil, totally still works. This guy is a workhorse, and it's called northern sea oats because they look like little oat tendrils that come off of the top of this plant, and this will form like a really attractive, and I do mean a really attractive clump. What's kind of cool is it has a much wider blade, kind of a different formation. So you get a little bit of that dark stem, a much wider blade, and then as the season progresses, it will just be covered in these plumes that actually I think are pretty phenomenal in a floral arrangement. So I am still looking for a spot for this one, but this is 100%. If you're in the market, this would be a great one. And the next thing I would look into if you were doing some shopping in the middle of summer is I would look at asters because they are really phenomenal. And there's actually a couple that I had an eye on. They don't have a lot in yet. I'm looking at them right now, but I will show you what I'm attracted to and what I've used and what I've loved. First on my list is the Munch aster. Here she is. It is classic. It is beautiful. I would actually say that is about the size of the bloom. So it's a bit bigger of an aster. Sometimes their floral gets really tiny. I love the foliage. It's a bit more muted. The leaf is bigger and more fuzzy. Love this aster. I recently did a project and planted probably 30 or 40 of these. Phenomenal. Okay, this next one is actually one that I kind of have my eye on. This one is the calico aster, and this one is really interesting. You can see how like heavily petaled this one is. This is going to be more like my ground cover aster, so think tiny, tiny sprays as opposed to the Munch, which is much more of a beefy floral. But really, really sensational dark foliage. I want to give you a third aster that I know and I love. This is Woods Blue. This is more of a compact habit. I want to give you like 3 different forms. So this one is like maybe foot and a half, super compact. And I would say its blooms are halfway between the Munch and the calico. And you can kind of see it's like a bit more rounded. It's an adorable selection. Love, love, love this one. Now, one that I'm not familiar with, that I haven't played with, is this Cape Cod aster, but I'm pretty tempted. Unfortunately, bunnies also love this, although it's saying no rabbits, but my goodness, I have a bunny who's going after all my ground cover aster. I don't know what to tell you. Long story short, they may say that bunnies don't like him, but my bunny is dead set on chomping mine to the ground. But I really like this. And then do you see how airy that form is? That to me is really, really interesting. And so this is a really great thing when you're shopping for your landscape. Figure out which form you need that isn't going to replicate forms that already exist in your garden. If you have a bunch of low mounding things, 86 a low mounding like a Woods Blue. Okay, if you feel like you have a sea of green and you really need something to break it up, think about that calico aster with that deep dark foliage. So a lot of really fun things to think about here, you guys. I have 2 more things that I want to show you where if you are shopping a middle of the summer sale, I would snag it now. The next one is sedums because I love a sedum. They are bulletproof. They are durable as heck. They don't care about fertilizing. And also, when you're getting them now, you're getting them in a bud stage. And so you're going to get them in the ground now and enjoy just an incredible fall show with some of these gorgeous uprights. And the list could go on and on about the ones that I've played with and I've loved, but I do have a special affinity for the dark leafed sedums. So let me show you. These autumnal series are classic green, bulletproof. Autumn Joy is the one I have in my garden. It comes out with like this rosy pink. I've got like an antique rose situation going on in my front garden in the fall. Love, 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 love. Cannot get enough of that. However, I want to show you 2 others. This sedum, it is called Frosted Fire. And I am big into this really cool variegated leaf. You get the same kind of antique-y, dusty pink. So really a good option. Here's one more, of course. This is our classic. This is the Sedum Autumn Joy. This is the one I have in my garden. It's a bulletproof one. But I want to show you a couple other darks that I have really been enjoying lately. See if we can find it. Well, Conga Line, I'll give this an honorable mention. This one is really, really upright and super cool. But I have recently, you guys, I planted a whole drift of these at a client's house. This is sedum back in black. Oh, this one, when it's in the ground, I'm telling you, it glows. It glows with this like bluey purple that I just like, I can't even handle it. It is just that good. I'm going to see if they've got one other. It's a harder to track down one. I don't know if they're going to have it here. But it is called sedum matrona. I don't think they're going to have it. Yeah, I'm not seeing it here. There's so much good stuff though. Holy crackers. Oh, by the way, honorable mention for Little Missy. This is an adorable, adorable sedum ground cover. Okay, I am not seeing sedum matrona, but it is definitely one for you to keep on your radar because it is very, very good. And I actually discovered that one when kind of studying the work of Pete Udolph, who is an incredible, incredible naturalist and plantsman in Europe. Before I jump back out in the sun and show you this next plant, this is your PSA. If this is a plant, if this is a flower you love, buy it now. I run into people all the time where they're like, it's fall, these are blooming, and then they go to find them and they can barely find any. So I'm going to show you one of my favorite loves in the garden. This is the fall blooming anemone. You know I love it. Honorine Joubert will always be my favorite, but I have a couple others that I really, really love, especially if you're into pinks. So first on my list is Honorine Joubert. This I feel like is the classic of all classics. Really, really tall, 3 to 4 feet tall, easily 2 feet wide, very upright, great, huge leaf. And these are just starting to come into bloom in my area and are going to bloom just straight through fall. I honestly, I just planted about 70 of these in a client's garden. Highly recommend, love it to pieces. This is another really good one, Dreaming Swan. Now, one of the reasons I like this is you get this really cool kind of purple on the back there. So it becomes a really dynamic flower in the garden. Also, I love white for the shade. This is just a killer. This one is shorter, so think, it says 1 to 2 feet. Honestly, these are about 2 feet tall whenever I have planted them and played with them in the Northwest. Hardy down to zone 7. Yes, they tolerate moist soil. So clients that have clay gardens, I find that these actually do really well and they bloom forever. Again, it'll start blooming probably next month and then just rock through the fall. Just amazing. I'm going to see if they have one more here that I play with a lot. And this is for my people who love pink. You guys, this is so sad. September charm. Okay, completely sold out. I love September charm. Here's the scoop on this guy. Now, foliage, 2 feet tall. Yes, absolutely. I feel like the florals can sometimes get in that 3-foot category, but it is like a blushy, it's like a blushy rose meets a little bit of lavender or a little bit of raspberry, and it has a much darker stem. I actually love this for container work. So there you go. And again, it starts blooming next month. It's going to bloom all through September. I see this bloom into October. Sometimes you can get November out of it. But again, this is me in Seattle. So you're probably going to have to really get to know how it blooms in your region. But really, really great, super hardy, down to -20. So cold weather friends, this is a great one. Oh, also, it has survived every rabbit attack in my garden. So if rabbits are an issue for you, that is my testament. Now that I've shown you around the nursery, what you're not shopping for right now is trees and large shrubs. It's just, they're so hard to keep watered. But here's what I am shopping for. I am shopping for items for my front border. For a very long time, I've just been like, it's too green. It's too green out there. I need some depth. I need some dimension. I need a different leaf shape. And so I want to show you what I'm looking at because there's also something I feel like I've been missing from my garden. And here's kind of another pro tip. When you go to the garden center, be open to what they have, but also know what your garden needs. And my garden needs geraniums in the front because I don't have them. And so I want to show you what I have, what I've narrowed it down to. I'm looking at 2 geraniums that have more of that like chocolatey foliage, which I think could add an incredible textural layer to that front border, like right in front of the boxwoods on the street side. And so I have 2. I have 2 that I'm looking at. One that I have seen but haven't interacted, well, actually both of them I've seen, I haven't interacted with. But one, Erin, the impatient gardener, I messaged her because I saw a picture of this one and it looked so good. And I think this may be the one I'm getting, but let me show you what they've got. Okay, let's go over my 2 contenders. Up first, we have Geranium Storm Cloud. This guy is great. So it has that deep dark foliage. The florals are actually a semi-double. So, gosh, let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so this guy is kind of a classic, right? This is your classic geranium that has a single row of petals. Now, Storm Cloud, on the other hand, it's hard to see here, but you can pull up pictures online. It has a second row of petals on the inside, and it's a very deep violet. So really, really like that. When you're looking at the foliage, it is definitely like an olive green with really heavy, heavy purple running through it. So this is contender number 1. Let me bring it over, and I am actually going to show you contender number 2. This one is a proven winner called Boom Chocolata. And I actually saw this one in Erin, the Impatient Gardener. She posted a photo of this and I was like, what is that geranium? Boom Chocolata. It was sensational in her garden. She had it paired with a lot of chartreuse foliage and I think it just amplified this deep, dark tone. This one is also about 2 feet tall and wide. This one is hardy zones 4 through 8. Let's look at Storm Cloud here. Oh, this one is hardy down to zone 5. So, I mean, both of them are nothing to sneeze at. Okay, let's kind of get them in here side by side because that, I feel like, that's where we really start to see the difference. First up is the Storm Cloud. Isn't that interesting? This is very much a star shape, really deeply serrated, very like punk rock. And then over here is Boom Chocolata. Get my hand behind it so you can see the definition, but this one is a lot softer. That is also really interesting. Also, when I'm looking at them, Boom Chocolata, that actually looks quite a bit darker. Okay, you guys, I actually think this is the direction I'm heading. You know, as per usual, I'm always going to recommend you buy more than one because I want this kind of spread down the border. And I almost had an idea that maybe I put this at the entrance to the main walkway to my house. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up 6 of them. They have a total of 8 here. And of course, I have my Swan's dollars. So I think I'm going to grab 6 today. And we're just going to see how they play at home. Okay, that looks so good. Do you see this next to the green? How different that looks? I think this is going to be good. You guys, I found this from 2011, but they don't expire. So I'm back home and I've got all my little babies right here. And by the way, as I was kind of taking things out of the car, I was realizing how heavy all of these pots are. And I'm telling you right now, this is why we support and shop at our local nurseries because they do such an exceptional job of watering and just everything is in prime condition. So despite the heat, it's all beautiful. It's all ready to go in the garden. And I've already started playing with placement out front. And I know that I probably need to go back and buy at least the remaining 2. But I think this is going to be the perfect hit of color, that deep, beautiful plummy tone that I've been missing in my front border. Okay, I'm going to get going. I'm going to see you in the next one. And in the meantime, say hello to your garden for me.